Hello and welcome back again for another week in Gospel First. I'm your host, Joe Cirillo, and we are now on week 21 of our 26-week study of the New Testament. And today we're going to be focusing on Hebrews chapter 1 to 3. What is truly strong enough to hold your life when everything else starts to shake? Have you ever built your life around something that you thought was solid? Your work, your plans, your ability to figure things out. And for a while, it felt like enough. But then something shifts. And suddenly, what you trusted doesn't feel as stable anymore. And in that moment, whether you say it out loud or not, something inside asks, what can I actually rely on? So let's find out. Now, to begin, I wish to clarify that the primary teacher in the book of Hebrews is not explicitly named. The human author is unknown, but the message is presented as authoritative Christian teaching centered on Jesus Christ. Now, the book of Hebrews 1 to 3 doesn't start with advice. It starts with clarity. In the past, God spoke, but in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son. That's in Hebrews chapter 1, verses 1 to 2. In other words, God is no longer speaking in fragments. He is speaking fully through Christ, and then it goes deeper. The Son is the exact representation of his being. That's in verse 3. So if you want to understand God, if you want to know what is true, you look at Jesus, and this becomes the foundation of everything that follows. Jesus is greater than prophets, greater than angels, greater than anything we tend to lean on. And that really matters, because if we can lean on something less, eventually it will show its limits. Now, I remember a time in my life where I leaned heavily on my own ability to handle things. If something went wrong, my default response was work harder, fix it, control it. And honestly, for a while, I thought it worked, until I hit something I couldn't fix. And I remember the exact thought, I don't have what the situation requires. Now that moment was humbling for me, but it was also the turning point. Because instead of trying to push harder, I had to shift where I was leaning. And this is where Hebrews brings us back to Christ. He tasted death for everyone. That's in Hebrews chapter 2, verse 9. Now think about what that means. The one who is above everything, he stepped down into your reality, experienced what you face, overcame what you cannot. So now the question becomes personal. What am I leaning on right now? Is it something temporary, something uncertain? Because Hebrews is clear. Only Christ is strong enough to carry your life fully. So in closing, I want to share this story. Now picture yourself standing in front of something that you can't overcome. And instead of being told to try harder, Christ steps forward and says, you don't have to carry this alone. I already carried it for you. And for the first time, you're not holding everything together anymore. Well, that's it for another day. Thank you for staying faithful to the journey. May the Spirit continue to fill your heart and draw you closer to Jesus Christ. If your heart feels even a gentle nudge, I invite you to like, subscribe, and share so that we can spread the gospel of Jesus Christ together. And I'll see you next time as we continue our studies in the book of Hebrews, chapter 3 to 6, where we'll learn about how easy it is to drift spiritually without noticing. So until next time, God bless.